Hi everyone, this is Richard, CEO of altFINS. In this trading video, I will demonstrate how to hedge your long positions in the portfolio by short selling assets. This is a valuable risk management strategy, especially in volatile markets and during a general downtrend. Keep in mind that this video is for informational purposes only, not meant to be financial advice, and do your own research. Typical traders are long biased. That means that traders typically buy assets expecting a price increase and then they sell with a profit. So they buy low and sell high. However, to be a more complete trader that can survive a bear market, one needs to learn how to short sell. That means to first sell high and then buy back lower. Benefit from a price decline. This is a useful technique that can either help a trader profit from a downtrend or hedge his portfolio of long positions. For example, currently the market is in a downtrend, generally speaking, with some exceptions. Let's check our signal summary page for evidence. On the signal summary page, we have dozens of preset market scans that you can use to build your strategies. They're basically already pre-built for you and you can modify them. But here in the first section, we can see which coins or how many are in an up versus downtrend. So only 72 on a daily time interval are in an uptrend, whereas almost 2,000 or 1,900 are in a downtrend. So clearly the market overall is in a downtrend. Now, let's go ahead and look at those that are in a downtrend. And you can check that by clicking on the trend tab. Right here, you have the filter definition, the market scan definition. It says, show me all the assets that are in a downtrend on the short-term, medium-term, and long-term basis. And here they are. Some of them are in a strong downtrend. Some of them are just in a normal downtrend. Now, despite the downtrend, I am personally somewhat bullish near term. You can watch the last 3 videos where I lay out several reasons for my positive outlook. You can find those videos in the crypto education on the trading video section. In these videos, I lay out several reasons for my positive outlook. I just think that the market is oversold. Prices went down too low too fast. A lot of the negative news has been absorbed. The sentiment is overly bearish, and that we could get a relief rally. Now, some of this has already played out. Many altcoins are up 20-30% from their bottom. Let's go back to the crypto screener. So even among these coins that are in a downtrend overall, if we look at coins like Litecoin, for example, it's bounced up, as you can see, in the last 7 days from the lows. It's up from 70 to now closer to 80, so about 10% gain. Similarly, Bitcoin Cash, for example, bounced up from that down wick, as you can see. It was as low as $93. Now it's closer to 105, so about a 10% gain as well from the lows. Filecoin, another one that's bounced back up from 275 to now closer to $4, so it's up 33%, and so on. So we've had a fair amount of, or pretty decent bounce from the very lows of the recent pullback. A part of my call of getting a relief rally has played out. So now what? Well, I still think there's more upside from these levels, and I'm bullish, but I'm cautiously bullish. The fact is that the market overall is in a downtrend. So to trade against that downtrend is risky. Buying dips works in an uptrend, but in a downtrend, buying dips is a risky strategy, often used by swing traders. Trends have a tendency to continue, so betting on reversals is risky. So what I'll do today is find those assets that I can short sell. That way I hedge my long positions. And that way, if I'm wrong and the market resumes its downtrend instead of reversing it, then my losses will be reduced because I will profit from the short sell positions. I will profit from the decline in prices. My long positions will have a loss, but my short sell positions will have a gain, hopefully offsetting most or all of my losses. So this is a risk management or mitigation strategy. Now the question is, which assets should I short sell? I want to sell those assets that are in a downtrend but have had recently bounced up to their nearest resistance level. Notice how this strategy is the opposite of buying dips in uptrend. When the market is in an uptrend, what I want to do is buy dips, buy when prices pull back. But when the market is in a downtrend, I want to do the opposite. I want to short sell when prices bounce up because my assumption is that it will resume its downtrend. So let's build a custom market scan for that. Let's start with this market scan that we have right now already here, which is all the coins that are in a downtrend across short-term, medium, and long-term basis. I'm also looking for coins that have already bounced up. How do I express that? Well, I can modify this market scan by adding another filter criteria or condition, RSI, Relative Strength Index. This is an oscillating indicator, and I want to say, let's say it's not oversold anymore, and it's higher than 35. That suggests that the price has bounced back up from the oversold levels. Oversold would be when the RSI is below 30, but I'm saying it's not oversold anymore. The price has rebounded and the RSI is above 30. And let's use 35 in fact. It's more than not oversold. All right. Still a lot of assets here on this list. Let's add a market cap minimum, by the way. That's always a good rule. Let's say minimum of 10 million, not really even that much, but at least we're not going to have some really crappy little small caps in there with little liquidity in there. I'm sorry, 247 coins on this list. I can save this now to say short sell ideas and come back to that under my saved filters in the future, and we can apply the filter and come back to it in the future. So here are the results: Dogecoin, Solana, Litecoin, Shiba Inu, Monero, Uniswap, and so on. All of these are coins that are in a downtrend but have bounced up. Let's take a look at the charts. As we can see, and I'm talking about the bounce up from the really low levels here. And as you can see, yeah, most of these have, in fact, bounced back up. Monero bounced quite a bit. Shiba as well. Uniswap also a decent bounce. All right, so this is a good start. Now what I want to do is figure out, well, are these prices approaching the next resistance level? That is the ideal trade setup for short selling. They're in a downtrend, they've bounced back up, and they're also up against their resistance or near their resistance levels. Well, how do I find resistance levels? Certainly you can do that yourself when you extend the time horizon perhaps to see which levels are the levels where the price has reached and been rejected to in the past, or that becomes a resistance, or past support becomes resistance. But in our platform, you can also see some of these in the curated chart section where we actually highlight the resistance and support zone. So this is Litecoin. And here we highlight that $80 is a resistance area. Okay, and we're getting close to that. The price is at $77. So really just a few percentage points or a few dollars away from the resistance area, right? It's had a bounce up, right, from the lows of, call it $70 or so. So it's up about 10%. Now it's up against that resistance area and very likely to get rejected there. So this is a good candidate for short selling, in my opinion. Bitcoin Cash, I believe, was another one that I thought was a good candidate. Also bounced up from $93 or so. Now it's at 107, call it 106, 107. And it's close to that resistance zone of $110 or so, right? It had broken out of the descending triangle. It's a bearish breakout. Now it's bounced back up, but it's likely to get rejected and then revisit that support zone of $95 or so. And it's clearly in the downtrend. We can check that as well, right here, downtrend. So that's another candidate. So this is the process that I go through to identify short selling opportunities. Now for the execution. If you haven't sold assets in the past, this can also take some practice and learning. I'm going to execute these trades on Binance. Here I am on Binance exchange, and to short sell, first of all, you have to have your margin account enabled. I've already done that, but for those who have not, you can go to the margin and there's going to be a short questionnaire that you have to go through to pass that so that you can open up a margin account. Now once you do that, then you can short sell. Short selling means that I will basically borrow an asset and sell it and then come back later and buy it back, hopefully at a lower price. So there were two assets that we looked at. One was Litecoin, and I'm going to trade Litecoin against Tether. So I select that here. I want to sell it. I want to sell it high and buy it back low. So my first thing is that I'm not going to be buying it. I'm going to be selling it. And I have two options. I can either use the cross margin or an isolated margin. Cross margin means that I will back this short sell position with my entire portfolio. I don't want to do that. If it goes against me abruptly, I really just want to isolate this position and all its risks, and therefore I'm going to use the isolated margin. Therefore, only the money that I allocate to this position is at risk. So that's my preferred way of doing this. First, if I want to sell $500 worth of Litecoin, right now Litecoin is trading at $77 approximately, right? So I want to sell maybe, or 6.5, that's about $500 worth, but I can't sell it because I don't have it. I have to borrow it, right? But to borrow it, I have to have some money in this margin account. So I have to transfer money. I'm going to transfer from my spot account. I have in my spot account a little less than $1,500 USDT. So I'm going to transfer $500 worth from my fiat or my spot to the isolated margin account. Once I have done that, now I can short sell, basically borrow. Let's make it a little less. No, that's fine. 6.5 is about $500 worth. Let's go ahead and submit this order. So let's go ahead and sell 6.5 Litecoins that are worth about $500. Looking at my order history right here, that order has gone through, it's been executed. So I have sold short $500 of Litecoin. Obviously, I'm going to keep this position. I would keep this position open, but to demonstrate how to close it, I'm going to go through that process as well so that you know how to close this position out and transfer the funds back from your margin account to your spot account. So to do that, right, I want to trade Litecoin versus USDT, and now I have to buy it back by repaying. Okay, how much do I want to buy back? 6.5 is what I sold short. What price do I want to buy it back at? Let's just say I'm willing to buy it back as high as 77.05, so I'll take a maybe even small loss here. Oh, before I do that, let's take a look at your profit and loss on this margin position. So under your wallet, if you select margin, that takes you to the margin area. Click on isolated because that's the margin that we used. And let's find the position. Litecoin is right here. This is the position right here. We borrowed 6.5 Litecoins and sold it short. And to find what the profit and loss is on this Litecoin position here, I'm in a minus $0.66. Obviously, very tiny change at the moment, but if I leave this on for several days, then hopefully I'll be in the profit if that price resumes its downtrend and declines from the current level of $77 down to maybe even $70 or so. All right, but again, I'll click on trade here to get back to how to close this position out and transfer your funds from margin to the spot account. Okay, here I am back in the trading interface. So what I want to do is buy it back. Price is at $77.07. Okay, I'm going to say I'm okay if I buy it back even as high as $77.10. I want to buy, again, let's take a look at the positions that I have, 6.5. So I'm going to buy back 6.5 is $77.10. And repay my open position. Okay, the order was filled. We should see that right here. Yes, in my orders. That was filled at $77.10. So I had a small loss on this position, obviously. And now, if I go to funds, then I can basically return the funds from the margin account to the spot account. So I'm going to reverse this and say, I want to move funds from the isolated margin account into my spot account. I'm going to move back all of my USDT. So clearly I lost about 90 cents because I transferred 500. I'm transferring back less than that. All right, confirm. Okay, and that's it. We're done with this trade. Now keep in mind that these margin positions, you don't want to have them open for too long, meaning weeks, because there is some interest cost that Binance charges on borrowed assets. So these are positions that are okay to keep open for a few days, perhaps, maybe up to a week, until the trade assumption or the trade plays out. Okay, so this is the way to go about short selling assets, particularly useful risk management strategy, but also for traders who are looking to profit from a downtrend. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, please email us at invest@altfins.com. Good luck trading.